Let's get one thing straight. You don't just wake up one day and say, I think I'll take a 6,000 nautical mile journey across the Atlantic Ocean in a sailboat today. It takes preparation and planning for the boat, the people, and in our case, the pups.
We are deep into our planning stages for our cross-Atlantic trip, traveling from Stralsund, Germany to Gulf Shores, Alabama. Probably the hardest part about this journey is making the decision. And once you make the decision to go and you set the date, then it's just the details. But I'm a detail person, and this is more details than I've ever seen in my entire life. We're talking about preparing the boat, of course, first and foremost, with safety in mind, comfort second. Also, we made a decision to take our dogs. We have 2 Beagles. They will be 1.5 years old at the time we set sail. Every country that we'll be visiting has different requirements for dog entry, and some of them you don't want to take. Some places you don't want to take a dog in at all because it's just too stringent and you don't want them quarantined, and so we're changing our route a little to accommodate that. But the paperwork has to be in order and all that has to happen before we go, so that's a big part of my responsibility. Mike is really working on the safety and technical equipment for the boat and the navigation and all the nautical details. And I'm taking care of all the dog details and the provisioning and comfort on board and that sort of thing, but also getting a lot of the supplies and getting them in and ordered on time. And do we ship them to the US or do we ship them to Germany? So we're just organizing all that.
Want to emphasize that first and foremost, the most important part of the planning is making sure that our sailing vessel is safe and ready to sail. The creature comforts are secondary and not even all that important, really. Safety is the name of the game. If the boat is safe, we will launch. The good news is that for the first several months of our journey, we will be on the Germany, Denmark, Netherlands, United Kingdom coast and along the European Atlantic coast. This means we will be close to ports where we can get spare parts, service the boat if needed, make repairs, and collect provisions. We have focused on making sure the hull and engine are in good shape. We are having the entire electrical system overhauled, retrofitting the vessel with wind and solar power, and securing all appropriate licenses, certifications, safety checks, weather and navigation equipment, communication equipment, and all the technical details that will make the boat and the crew safe to make the journey. But we've got checklists and a task list and a budget list and nautical information, legal documentation, some of our equipment that we need, provisions, confirmations. I mean, just everything you could think of. The things that are in green are what's completed, and the things that are not in green have not been completed. So we've still got a lot of work to do.
One of the biggest issues we've had is taking care of all the details that have to do with the dogs. And we decided we want to take them with us. They love to sail, they love being on the water, and also we don't want to leave them for 6 months. We want them with us.
The 3 things that are common among all of them are microchips, rabies vaccinations, and health certificates. But then some countries, like particularly, say, Barbados, you have to get an import permit. And all these things have deadlines and different days that are involved. And the worst thing that can happen is that the dogs get put in quarantine somewhere. So we're really taking care to take care of all these details.
Whenever we go into a new country, we have to go through customs, and so do the dogs. The first task is to get our 2 little Beagles, Captain Jack and Scout, to Germany, and we have to do this on an airplane. And this makes me really, really nervous. I know that people do it all the time, and it's probably no big deal, but it still makes me a little bit nervous. It makes me much more nervous to transport them by air than by sea. And so I only want to do that one time. So we're just going to put them on an airplane from Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're actually going to leave from Atlanta and take a direct flight to Frankfurt. And hopefully this will go well. We're using Lufthansa, which apparently is is a really great airline to use. They told me that unless I'm sitting in business class, which I won't be, I'll be in economy, that they will be more comfortable than me. So that makes me feel a little bit better, and also I know that this happens safely all the time. We did find out that you can't just call the airlines, because that's what I did at first to try to book these tickets. You have to go through IPATA approved pet carrier. These pet carriers know what they are doing, and they are taking good care of us. And we're working with a really good one out of Roswell, Georgia. So of course we're working with our vet on all the appropriate health paperwork and vaccinations and microchip and all that. All that's been done. Now we have to think about shipping them on an airplane to Germany. Of course you can see the puppies are taking a little nap right now. That's Scout. And there's Captain Jack. And we ordered these airline approved pet carriers. And these are made by PetSafe, and they're really nice and really good. But so far, the dogs have not been too impressed with them. So Scout's done a little bit better than Captain Jack, and she'll go in there. We put some treats in there, but they gave us a great recommendation, and that was to get them comfortable with these pet carriers before we go. So we're trying to do that, but of course, as you can see, they kind of prefer to nap on the couch. We both work from home, and we have remote jobs that we can do from anywhere in the world. For example, I'm a journalist, and as long as I have internet and a phone and my laptop, I can work. Sometimes we won't have internet and we won't have phone service, so we're trying to prepare ahead of time. We're both trying to knock out a huge amount of real work before we go, and of course we'll have to work along the way. There's a chance that we will have to stop at some ports. We might have to go somewhere in the world to do some work, and we might have to take a break. But because we'll have the dogs with us, one of us will at all times stay on the boat with the dogs. And so that's affecting our navigation scheme and our route planning. We're having to pad a little bit of time for that, but we are trying to get half a year's work done now. And this is okay, because we know on the other side it's going to be worth it. And but this is another part of our preparation that we're dealing with.